Hey guys, it's at K Deuces, your sports bet queen. And guess what? It is time to start season 4 of Crooks and Books. Season 4? Season 4. I'm just going to say it again. Season freaking 4, man. Let's do this. We've got so many freaking followers over the last couple years. But let me introduce you to the guys that make it all happen. Big Pick Brad,
What's up, everybody?
Bobby Banks,
What up?
Bill's godson,
In the flesh.
Al the Towel.
Yo, yo, yo.
Or I mean, I think we should change it to Terrible Towel Al or something, right? It's just kind of like really hard to say for me at the
Yeah,
time.
whatever.
Yeah. And then Prado the Pointer
What's up?
and someone very special to me, a good friend of mine, and also living in Vegas, which is my dream, right? Richie Shippen.
What's up, guys?
All right. Let's start off the show with some basics. So all of you guys know we kept up a 63% average, which was pretty fucking awesome for all of us as a team. Now we're going to work against each other and see who wins top 3 against all of us. Obviously, that'll still keep the pace up for the whole group. But I think since we have Wager Attack at Wager Attack, follow them, wagerattack.com. They're going to be sponsoring a contest for us for Crooks and Books, and whoever wins at the top wins a prize, obviously, and we'll talk more about that later on. But let's go with some takeaways first on the off season. Now, what are some things that we want to consider? Let's start with you, Caleb, and the Patriots. What's going on?
A lot of people were very critical that they didn't do a lot this offseason. And, some of that was well placed. But I think at the end of the day, Bill had a 2-year plan in place with the moves they made last year. They wanted to be competitive last year, but they weren't planning on everything coming together. I think the biggest offseason acquisition we got this year has been Mac Jones in his development. I think that's more important than any free agent we could sign or anybody we could draft. The draft was a little tough. I wasn't thrilled with Cole Strange. I'm not going to. A Strange number 69 jersey is going to be pretty cool. I plan to buy one. I'm not going to lie. But I mean, I
Sounds
wasn't.
like a band member, right? Like,
I know, yeah.
this name.
A
Freaking
rapper or
band
something. Yeah, like it's yeah. So wasn't too thrilled with that pick. I thought they probably could have got him in the second round, but I mean, we'll see. It is what it is. There's not really much you can do about it now. And they did need a guard. They lost one, so they had a hole to fill on the offensive line. So you can't be too critical of it.
Yeah.
But no, it's like I said, man. Mac Jones' development's going to be the most critical thing for this team, and if he takes off, that's more important than anybody they could have signed or drafted. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I'm nervous about Matt Patricia calling plays. So
Oh, yeah. That's another thing, right?
that cancer should never be allowed around a football team again. But that's just my opinion.
All right. So let's go with Brad. I mean, your team's kind of like a little fire there, huh? So what's going on? I mean, come on, Rich, are you turning on?
As Prado would say, boom or bust for us. We made some key acquisitions and getting Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson, our two biggest free agent moves this year, and also getting Kyle Van Noy, a veteran guy in the locker room. And now we just got to give Derwin the bag and just kind of have it all pieced together. We got the young, fiery quarterback in Herbert. I expect big things out of us this year. Big things out of this year. So
Big expectations.
huge.
Al, what's it looking like in Steeler Nation post Ben?
I'm excited for Steelers football this year. I think our biggest addition was Brian Flores as somebody to help our defense. I think we've got really good pieces there. That's where you're going to see a big step up. And I wasn't thrilled with Kenny Pickett as our first round draft pick, but I think that the organization feels like there's good enough receivers, running back, strengthening the O line, that really all they want's a game manager, some similar to like a Jimmy G type,
Yeah.
Where
God,
he
don't
may
talk
not
about
win
this
you
guy.
the game, but he's not going to lose you the game. And any one of those guys should be better than Ben Roethlisberger, who could only throw the ball 7 yards. So I'm excited.
He was at the end of his career,
Yeah,
obviously.
and
Kenny
I
Two
think
Glove.
I think it was cool, how his exit happened. Winning season, makes the playoffs. I mean, what more could you ask for in his, career?
All right. Now let's go over to the Niner fans, including myself. But I'm gonna have Prado start it off and see what he's taken away from our fucking team. Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
Well, you can't get any worse than Jimmy G. So that's what I keep telling these guys. You can't get any worse than that guy. So as long as you don't have him there under 10 yards, you should be pretty successful. That's what I think of what's going on with the 49ers organization. Plus, they got, like Brad says, 19 running backs, and they just locked up Debo. So it's about time they actually have some real playmakers and someone to throw them to. So I just think that
We added a corner too. I mean, that would probably help, at some point.
anything that it will help improve that team. And to think that this team went to the
How about a
NFC
motherfucking
Championship game,
quarterback? Oh, sorry. We have Jimmy G. My bad. Just kidding.
still there. Kyle's still giving him great references too, by the way.
Jesus. I mean, they should just marry each other if that's what it's
Straight
gonna
up.
be. You know what I mean? Okay, so Bobby, any other takeaways for our wonderful team?
Yeah, we finally came out and announced Trey as a official starter, and it's funny.
Did we? Did we? God,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like a
Ben. We
wow.
just finally did it. So big exciting things. I think we had a couple injuries, and I think
Some fights are going on too.
Armstead, yeah,
The
paid
fights.
Debo. I mean, it's all gelling together. It's gonna take a while, but and our schedule's not the easiest, but I mean, with a QB that can throw further than 10 yards that has legs he can use. I'm excited for it.
Well, fuck the Bears. That's all I gotta say. Okay. Anyway,
Bears.
Rich, do you have any insider takes for us early in the season? I know, being that you were in this whole thing and it's your industry, Vegas, what's it looking like? I mean, give us a little insider, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like any other year. Guys are firing away on these things. I'm personally buying into the. I'm sipping the Charger Kool-Aid. I like the line, the offensive line. We got Jackson and Matt coming in. Justin Herbert is fantastic, and
Good Kool-Aid.
it's easy to hate on teams that they miss the playoffs, but then, uh, as everyone on this show does, they watch every game just about, and they had so many near misses. So all you got to do is go 50-50 on those near misses where they seem to lose every close game by special teams, and that they're a playoff team all of a sudden. So I'm sipping the Kool-Aid. So are a lot of other people.
Sip, 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 huh, Rich? Look
Let's
at
do
him.
it.
He was on it. He was on it
Just
before the season ended.
since
Yeah.
day one, Chargers right here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I love it. I love it. And you know what? I think that's so true what he says, you guys, because like it also goes into like, how like your team loses and you're like, dude, they should have won. That's the team you take the following week because you know they're gonna freaking win because they're coming all out with it. Or that's the next bet that you make because they should have won. So it's that theory that we always had, when we're betting sharp, especially on the show. Unless you're, I don't know, Prado. I'm just kidding. Joking. Joking.
Sharpest guy we have.
Yeah. All right. So any other okay, so non-team takeaways, things to consider. Let's talk about Tom Brady's return. He's trying to make moves too. You know what I mean? He's got some pretty big names over there. So what do you guys think about that? Let's start with Brad and then I'll go to Caleb.
Well, I mean, adding Julio Jones this week, I mean, what more can this guy get on his offense? Him, Godwin, Evans, Lenny, like the guy's got it going on. And
He's
a
a
decent
fantasy
offensive
team by
line.
himself.
Oh yeah. He's actually thrown more touchdowns and yards in his 40s than he did all of his 20s.
That's
Yeah, I
nice.
saw
I
that.
read that, you guys. That's pretty freaking
I
crazy.
mean, how much better can it get for the guy? He's 45. He looks like he's 27. He's got his own brand, Brady brand,
He's
living the dream
aging
in
like
Florida.
fine wine.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, the guy's just a stud. I need to get
You're
on. That's the
wrong.
Kool-Aid I need to get on right there. Is that guy's Kool-Aid?
But that's the thing. In fantasy, you and I were sipping that Kool-Aid like there was no other Kool-Aid to fucking sip. And it got us through the goddamn fucking thing. You feel me?
I feel you. Yeah, I mean, Tom's just doing his damn thing at age 45, and I expect him not to not lose a step. Like he's gonna go out there every
Yeah.
Sunday and he's going to perform. It's just simple as that.
And again, before Caleb, before you go, I feel like Tom's schedule again is gonna serve him right, like it always has.
Well,
You
just
know
look
what
at
I'm
his
saying?
division. I mean, he's
Yeah,
got
that's what I'm saying.
one team in the division that could beat him, and that's the Saints.
It's
Everyone else,
crazy.
he's gonna run over like a goddamn flat line.
Yeah, so he's coming up on top again in his division. That might be a sharp, safe bet for all you listeners. Start following that. I mean, I don't know what Rich has to say about that and what you've been seeing, Rich, in Vegas, but that sounds kind of something that public people would take just because it's Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, you got it right. They're going to bet him. They're going to auto bet him, and honestly, it's been a winning play. So yeah, it's no different this year than any other year.
Yeah.
It is interesting to look at the other teams in that division. You might find some value just because everyone hates on them with Brady in there. But yeah, it's the same as every other year over Buccaneers.
Wow, ride the streak. All right, Caleb, what do you think about Tom Brady, your ex QB?
No, I'm not gonna sing. I hate that fucking song. So I don't want to be devil's advocate here, but let's look at the first 4 games. At Dallas, on Sunday Night
Ooh.
Football.
Steamroll.
At New Orleans. Then
Gonna
they got
take a loss.
Green Bay at home, Kansas City at home. There's a chance they start 1-3 or 0-4.
Stop.
Jesus, they gotta
At worst,
cover.
they go 2-2.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
covering.
exactly.
Yeah, they gotta cover.
It's a tough schedule. I don't know.
I think
they're
we're
gonna
hating
blow
like the
Dallas out.
ex-girlfriend.
I could be wrong. And then after that, you got Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Carolina. I mean, yeah, they'll win the next 3.
Jesus, Al. I know that
But
one right here.
TJ Watt gonna crush the old man.
Oh, he's gonna come after him, yeah, for sure. Well, what do you think, Al? What do you think? Are you on the Tom Brady train?
You know what? I mean, they're probably going to win that division because they are the best team. But New Orleans had an offseason and a draft that I really liked. I think Jameis Winston, if he could kind of play how he started the year before he got hurt, that could be a dangerous team because Chris Olave, in my opinion, was the best receiver in the draft, and they got him, I think, at 11 or 12. And then they got my favorite lineman in the draft, Trevor Penning, who got kicked out of practice today for fighting 3 separate times.
Third time.
So,
Jeez.
you gotta love
he's ready to
a
start.
nasty,
He's ready to start.
you gotta love a mean streak with an offensive lineman. And they've got good leaders who are older as far as Cam Jordan and Demario Davis on defense. So that's really the only team that I think is a threat to Tampa Bay. But it all hinges on if Jameis Winston could take care of the football or not.
Good old Jameis.
Love
God,
that guy.
I miss him. All right. Bobby, anything you got to say on the Tom Brady train?
Nothing. The guy's just a specimen. I don't know what you want me to say about that guy. There's no way that they should go 1-4 though. They're beating KC
Watch,
for sure.
and then Caleb's over here laughing at us when he's on top. Jesus. All right. Okay, so another thing what's another significant thing? Should we talk about your favorite person, Prado?
Oh.
Oh,
You know who I'm talking about. He's in Colorado now.
Oh,
He's
fuck
waiting
outta
for you to
here.
come visit him with
Russ.
wine.
I'm glad he went to a division that fucking has no remorse either. So they'll make sure to have him see if he'll be singing and doing his little slogan dances whenever he does.
Yeah.
Come week 8.
So are you going to put him in the trash or what's happening with the Broncos?
They're a shit organization. It makes sense why he went there. Think about it. They've always been shit. And the only time they haven't been shit is when they buy quarterbacks to come over there. They're trying to buy him over there. But I feel like Russell kind of last year kind of showed me he's kind of lost a step or 2.
I
Is
agree.
it Sierra? Is it Sierra?
Gotta
It's
be.
that voodoo shit.
Hey, how cringy was it him showing up in camp wearing his own
His
jersey?
own jersey. Yeah.
So bad.
Oh,
Dude.
Oh my God. Can he not
Who
get it
does
over
that?
himself? It's crazy.
Who does that exactly?
Yeah. Like, so Rich, do you have any say on I know you're not a Colorado guy, but I'm just saying, do you have
Oh
anything
yeah,
to
he is
say?
buffs.
He is a
He
Colorado
he
guy.
is, but he's not a Bronco guy. is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
By the way, Buff's over this year, but
Look
um,
at him, look at him, he's so serious in the face.
yeah.
So-
I hate Russell Wilson.
Thank
The
you.
thing is, he's so cringy. He's like Henry Cejudo in the UFC. Like you can't like look away. You like
Right.
he's so bad that you want to keep watching. Like bad as far as cringy goes. I mean, he could still kind of cook, but it's hard to find weapons on that offense that are really reliable. I know. I mean, you got like Jerry Jeudy, who was injured last year a bunch, and obviously he's got a lot of talent, but there aren't a lot of outs there. I don't know that at 10.5 wins, it's kind of hard to see that going over in the in that kind of a division.
Down.
Didn't they just
Yep.
lose a wide receiver like yesterday?
Tim Patrick
Yeah,
tore
Tim
his
Patrick.
ACL.
Oh, you did? He tore it?
Yeah,
Tore it.
he's out for the season.
Sheesh. Anybody else have any opinions on Russell Wilson?
I do.
Go
I
ahead.
used to love the guy. Now he's in my
Oh, here we
division.
go.
Now he's in my division, and now he can't fucking cook. Fuck that. Get him out of the kitchen. Get him out of the goddamn kitchen.
I
Hey,
love
I've got to say though, like in that division, that's probably the most competitive division in the NFL, and like I see them being better than Kansas City if I'm being honest. I don't like Kansas City's
Wow,
roster
yeah.
this year.
I could, you know what? I could second that because the thing is, it's like they're gonna try and go back to the young Pat Mahomes that won the championship, but it feels like, I mean, that's gonna fade away real quick, especially with how all of the AFC is turning up. You know what I mean? So
You guys
Yeah.
don't think they overpaid for Wilson? I mean, Drew Lock's a pretty big name to give up.
Oh, Caleb, I love
Noah
it.
Font.
Noah
He was a
I
solid
will say,
number 2 tight end in fantasy.
He was. He
It
was.
was-
I mean, he was definitely like definitely a weapon, but that was a couple years back.
I had him last year.
Did you have him?
Last year
You
was
had him
his
last
best year. Last year was
Yeah,
his
he was-
best
he
year.
was good
You
last year.
did.
Yep.
I had him, I think, on his breakout when I was like, "Who is this guy? I'm gonna freaking
Yeah.
pick him out."
He's from Omaha. He went to Omaha South.
Get you.
He went to the same high school as my
Some
mom.
Research.
No wonder
Like
you
your
like
brother.
him.
No,
Makes sense.
because I knew that because he played for Iowa
Yeah,
and
with
Nebraska
Hawkinson.
didn't even it was either Pelini or Riley didn't even recruit him, and I would just get sick to my stomach watching him tear us up every year. So I remember that's how I know who he is.
Is he dating your cousin since it's Bill's godson? You're Bill's godson.
Well, I mean
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
Omaha. We're all cousins here, so it's all good.
I love it. Okay, Bobby, anything on the Russell Wilson train? I think you already.
Yeah, they're losing week 1. They're losing to Seattle week 1.
Here we go. Take the bet. Take
love
the bet.
that.
Bobby
Wow.
says.
Just
"Take
lock
the
it
bet."
in now.
All right.
Lock.
So what do we? What else? Give me one more. Someone bring up some other takeaways that that you guys think are definitely something to call out for. I know it's been a while, and we probably should have done the show right away, but I just let things happen. You know what I mean?
I was gonna ask Rich last year, remember out of nowhere and did the MVP and he put on Trey Lance. Is there
Yeah, he unloaded on Trey Lance, and I haven't heard anything.
money on?
Sorry, I'm okay. Yeah, we're back.
Just kidding.
I haven't heard anything like that. Like that was just like a shocking thing to hear. I had to mention it just because someone drops that much money on 100 to 1 guy or. It was at least $1,000, but it's hard to say. Like when I talk to the guys at the sports book, you know how much someone bets when they walk up to the window, but they're like cockroaches, man. You know that like they got someone else betting more, so it's like that dude walked
like
up and bet
somebody's.
1,000.
Yeah, okay, that makes.
Yeah, like Billy Walters had this guy like Ruval Okaba or something. Anyways, he like anytime he would just tail his bets, and we knew he worked for him. So
Oh, so it's
Yeah,
like
I
the
haven't seen
follower.
anything. I haven't seen anything that crazy. What I have seen is, or heard, I should say, is the unbelievable amount of Chiefs over bets because you have a schedule. You know the extended schedule now, and they're only 10.5 wins, which they weren't like a 10.5 win team in the old schedule. And now you just have people hammering the over, and the only thing that they say is they'll figure it out, which is just to me not good enough. I actually don't like them much either.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The Chiefs, I feel like that they're not going to be replacing like the public Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Like how the Patriots were the team to like go and be like, yeah, they're gonna go do this. I think the more sure bet is definitely um Tom Brady. And even then, Caleb will tell you like it might not even happen. But I feel like Chiefs, I'm in agreement that I could really tell them to fuck off this year on bets. Yeah.
Schedule according to the. So they don't have it. They don't have an easy road at all.
No, they're the
So they
hardest
finally
division
gave
in the
him.
NFL.
Yeah, hands down.
All right. Well, all
I
right.
like 10.5 under.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's what we were just saying. Even
I
Rich
bet
was
you they
like,
go 10-7.
dang.
10-7, 9-8.
Yeah. Still covers by a
No,
half. No, by
oh
a
yeah,
half.
on the under, yeah.
Yeah.
On the under, yeah.
Gotta buy that half. Or don't buy it and just sweat.
And who's the easiest?
Um, all right. So, I mean, if you guys don't have anything else to take away, I only got some boring stuff like
You know,
two
Jack.
hot seat for Mike McCarthy. Those things. You know what I mean?
Oh
Is
my
it getting
God.
really hot for
That's a
him?
fun division. That's a fun division for sure.
Yeah.
That's a hot
Zeke doesn't
seat.
need a practice. He's now the new Allen
Yeah.
Iverson of the NFL. Just to let you
Who?
know that.
Who?
Zeke
I saw that. Doesn't need to play in any preseason games.
does need
Nope.
it.
Doesn't need the reps.
And
Even
then
though he
and
had a
then he
horrible year.
and then he rips his whole body apart week 2. I get you. Sliced.
Tom Brady never played in preseason games either, though. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt.
Tom Brady.
You know.
Just remember, his name is Tom Brady, not the.
7 rings. That's all you got to know.
All right. So let's go on to the game. We're gonna do Marry, Fuck, Kill, you guys. I know some kids are listening to this, but they're used to me cussing, so it's all good. At least my kids are. And yes, I am still a great parent, by the way. 100%. Anyway, Marry, Fuck, Kill. So which team will you marry this year or this season? Going, somebody that you want. I know you guys have heard us do this before, not so much in the organized way, but kind of like Al loved to take the Packers. That was a year back. Or obviously you got favoritism with Bill's godson. You know what I mean? Like these are things that you are married to for the season that you want to take on as a better and with your followers. Now, who would you fuck with other than who you want to marry this season? That's another team. That's your secondary team that you would go to if you know that you're not gonna, if your team isn't that doing that well or whatever it is. And then who would you just kill off? Just like, we were talking about Chiefs, Seattle, obviously, for me. But things like that. So just to give them an example. And I'm going to start off with Caleb. Are you good with starting off first?
Yeah, that's cool with me.
All right, let's do it. Let's go with who will you marry for everybody first. So let's do it.
Mhm. So I don't want to do the homer pick. I'm going to leave the Patriots out of this one. You'll hear plenty of
at you.
ranting and raving from me about them. I really don't know. I think Mac's going to be good, but it's going to be how good. And I think that's what the whole season hinges on. No, I'm going to stay in the AFC East, though. I'm going to marry the Bills, man. I don't. I don't see a team in the NFL that's more complete than them. I mean, obviously Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs is a deadly combo, but that defense is fucking good too. And it's usually, I mean, when you've got an offense that's good and I just don't see a lot of holes in the Bills this year that would make me want to pick against them in very many games. So I mean, yeah, so that's my married team. Fuck, I'm gonna keep it in the AFC. I'd fuck the Chargers, man. I think Justin Herbert developing. I mean, him and that Mike Williams combo is deadly. Obviously, you still got Bosa and Khalil Mack out there. J.C. Jackson at cornerback. Maybe Asante Samuel turns it into something a little bit more. I mean, that's another team that could be scary this year if they play their cards right. So I'd fuck with the Chargers there. Shout out to Brad.
Look at
And and then again in the AFC East, I'd kill the Dolphins. I think you got to all the hype about Tyreek Hill and all that speed they got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to. It doesn't matter. You have the two worst offensive tackles in the AFC East and an undersized, fragile quarterback. It doesn't matter how fast they can get that. You can have a team full of guys that run faster than Usain Bolt, but if you can't get the ball to them, it doesn't matter. You got to protect your
Yeah.
quarterback, and they got. I'm not sold on Tua when he's healthy, to be perfectly honest with you. So I don't know why we'd. Yeah, no, kill the Dolphins. Fuck them.
Yeah, there you go. And that's his picks, you guys. So who's following? Go ahead, Mr. Charger.
Well,
Brad.
Caleb was reading my mind on the Mary. I'm definitely marrying the Bills too. The
Dang,
Bills are
Bill's got 2 wives now.
yeah. Bill's got 2 wives. He's over there, Josh Allen. He's doing his damn thing.
It's the
I feel
Buffalo
like
Mormons.
I
I
agree.
feel like with the acquisition of James Cook in the draft, Dalvin's little brother, that they got 3 running backs now. That I mean, if they can't run the ball this year, they're just never going to be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
It's just simple as that. And Josh Allen's very durable. He's big, and he's got a big time arm, which is you need that in the NFL. So I like the Bills to marry. A team that I'm gonna fuck with on the side, low key, is the Washington Commanders. Gonna fuck with the team in
Wow.
DC.
Jesus.
I don't know
Commanders.
why,
Is
but
it
I've always
schedule?
been a fan. Not really. Well, division really, because I think the NFC least is still the worst division in football.
Jeez.
It just never gets any better. Maybe the AFC South with those 2 teams at the bottom, but NFC least all day. I like Carson Wentz. I always have. I don't know why. I just like that guy. He throws those errant balls, and he's finally got a guy like Terry McLaurin to go up and get him.
Mr.
And
Cayman
with
Wentz?
Ron Rivera,
Wow.
Cayman Wentz, he's going to Cayman Wentz on over to Washington.
Okay, he
And
might
then
take him a
with their
notch.
coaching, what happened?
I said he might take him up a notch, is what I meant.
He might definitely, especially after who they had at quarterback the last couple of years. Like I can't even name the guy right now. He's not. What's the guy's name? The quarterback there last year, Washington.
Taylor
Heineke.
Haneke, yeah.
I
Like,
believe it's
come
Old
on,
Dominion,
man.
baby.
Who the fuck was that? So they definitely got a big upgrade at quarterback. They're getting Chase Young back, one of the best D lines in football when they're all playing together, and led by Riverboat Ron. I kind of like Washington there as a team to kind of fly under the radar. And then a team that I'm going to kill off right away just because they're fucking just a horrible organization, and that's Carolina. You go get Baker Mayfield.
Ooh, that's a
You
good one.
fucking have him in competition with Sam Darnold. Like, what kind of competition is that? And Matt Rule, go back to fucking college. Get the fuck out. I
Sam
just
Darnold.
I hate everything about Carolina this year. And McCaffrey, I mean,
I'm
good
done.
dude. Just
Don't even talk to me.
5 games and see you later. That's all he's good for.
You know who Matt Rule looks like? Truly, is Hopper from Stranger Things, the cop.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
could be
this
his
is true.
brother.
Yeah, they could be brothers for real. Oh man. All right. Let's go with Al. I'm gonna move down.
A team that obviously non-Steelers wise that I'm gonna kind of marry to this season is the Eagles. It
Ooh,
all
I like it.
hinges
Mob
on
life. Okay.
Jalen Hurts. If he could play effective quarterback, they got Devonta Smith, they've
Yeah.
got AJ Brown, they've got Dallas Goddard, they've got a pretty sneaky little skill position player. They've got really good defense. I liked what Nick Sirianni did last year with not much. So that's a team that I definitely look at and I like going into this year, assuming Jalen Hurts plays well, just because I see a big step back from Dallas and the Giants. A team that this is going to be a funny one, a team that I kind of fuck with this year to turn it around is I like Motor City Dan Campbell's Lions.
What?
I don't really think that the Vikings did that much as far as improving. I don't think the Bears did anything. I think they're terrible.
That's shocking.
And like I think for what he was given, which wasn't much, he did some funny things in Detroit. I feel like the players are gonna stick behind him, and I feel like Jared Goff is going to play quality game managing quarterback.
Oh, I forgot he was there.
So that's a surprise team, one that I'll just throw out
So
that
you're
I'm
gonna
I'm
fuck
gonna
with you're gonna fuck
closely
with them.
monitor them for sure.
Gotcha.
And then we already kind of talked about the team that I like the least this year. Team that I'm killing off immediately is the Chiefs. I know they have Patrick Mahomes. I know that they have
Till
Andy Reid.
2031.
I know that they have Travis Kelce, but I think a big part of Kelsey's game was freed up because of Tyreek Hill. I think Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and Cole Hardman. I don't think any of those three players are at the degree Tyreek Hill is. Their defense, they don't have Daniel Sorensen, who's getting burnt every play. They don't have Tre'Davious Ward, corner, who went to the Niners, and they don't have Tyrann Mathieu. They still don't have a quality edge defender outside of Frank Clark, who really isn't that great. So
Yeah.
they're a team that I'm not liking at all this year.
I mean, I think that's a great pick, honestly, for who you want to kill off the season. And that's also because like these are teams that you don't think will even make it. Or they will and they just aren't gonna win the whole thing, you know. So all right, Rich, let's go to you. You know, we kind of have some insiders obviously from earlier conversations, but go ahead.
Yeah, before I play the game, I did text my boys over at Circa, and they told me like look at the MVP odds, because I was like, any like crazy MVP bets. So I looked it up, and they moved Trey Lance down today. So someone hammered Trey Lance. I didn't ask who, but someone had hammered Trey Lance down to 20-1.
My
which
God.
is just, I mean, I think he's very good, or I think he could be very good. That's like wild. So I'll have to talk to them more about that later.
Okay,
but,
Rich, I'm starting to like you now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but they hammered him down, so he's sitting at 20-1, which is obviously unbettable now. But a team, so I made no secret. I'm buying into the Chargers.
He's gonna get married to the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, coming back home, me and the Chargers, day one, LA. So
you're gonna have
yeah,
to
I mean, we already talked about that.
Brad.
But Owl, I actually am gonna fuck with the Eagles. The reason why I'm not gonna marry them is last year I can't get over that they didn't beat a team that made the playoffs. But I love just about everything about them. They have the roster that can navigate through that crap division, and that's just the team that I'm really looking at. I can kill it.
I hear you.
Yeah, and I could kill a bunch of teams. I'm gonna kill the Bengals though. That's who I'm gonna kill.
Wow.
Yeah, we're talking about a team that's going to be overbet every week, and they're a 9.5 total team, and that's getting overbet to the over as well. So we're gonna have a 9.5 win total team who maybe they fix the offensive line, maybe not. Joe Burrow could like blow out his ACL at any time, and we'll have like a 7-win team and cash the ticket well in advance. So I already hammered Bengals under, so that's what I'm going with.
Damn, that's what me and Brad liked.
Hey, you
And
know what?
strong 2018 Eagles vibes from them.
Yeah. I feel like it's mob life too, you know. They got to stay relevant. That's all I got to say. But yeah, dude. All right, Bobby, go for it. Bank it up. Who are you marrying? I mean, I know you're getting married this year, but congratulations, by the way, to you and Bianca. But
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
Other than her, I'm gonna be drinking the Kool-Aid, and I'm gonna be marrying the Chargers. They just make great football.
Jesus.
I can't tell you how many times I've told Mr. Brado, but there's just nothing more gratifying than seeing that guy launch a football. He's just a specimen,
With the
and,
hair.
and
With the hair.
it just makes for a great game. You just love to see it. You love to see those 50+ yard passes, and he does it consistently.
That
I
was
think
so romantic. I hope you talked to Bianca that way.
yeah. I I think that they're gonna finish if not second, first in that division. I'm pretty low on KC this year. I'm not going to kill them. I'm actually going to kill the opposite side of the spectrum. The team that actually shares that stadium as well. I'm going to kill LA because I hate LA. As far as the Rams go, I don't think that they'll be able to repeat. Not nearly the success that they just recently had. But the other team that I think I'm going to mess with a lot is was going to be the Eagles, but since two already picked it, I'm going to pick the Raiders too. Since I have a lot of friends and I have a lot of now newly acquired, pretty soon family friends. That's going to be nothing but Raider fans, and I hear nothing but Raiders hype from them. Obviously, majority Hispanic too, so that seals it. But a lot of ignorance I hear, but it's there's some truth behind it. I mean, especially with them getting, arguably one of the best receivers currently, Devontae Adams. I want to see how that happens and how that flushes out.
All right. All right. Prado, I'm going to let you go before me. So I can't wait to hear this. This is going to be good.
Well, the team that they had the 68 guys on IL last year, so I mean, and they scraped up every week. They're competitive, arguably probably like a top 3 coach in the NFL, hands down. I'm going to be fucking with the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, they got all
Lamar
their
Prado
fucking
is back,
playmakers
guys.
back.
Lamar
So
Prado.
yeah, I kind of don't like when the NFL and like players start calling people out. They're not even irrelevant. And I feel like every time that happens, it's almost like a negative thing that the media loves to get on. So I feel like Lamar will actually come back and be Lamar. And their defense is good. And you ever notice that whenever Baltimore picks up like that guy who's old, all of a sudden he turns into a fucking all pro. Like they got Justin Houston. It's like funny, like they'll find ways, they pick up guys in the draft that no one wants, and then they all of a sudden become like these top defensive linemen, defensive players. So I think Baltimore is just going to be a little bit of, I think they'll actually win that whole division. But I mean, just kind of just going on a limb there. It sounds bad, but it is what it is.
All right. Who are
It's
you going
Devin
to fuck with?
Duvernay.
Exactly. You'll end up finding a way to be the
Punt
fucking
returner.
fantasy. He'll be the fantasy player of the fucking week, 3
Or the
weeks in a row
kicker.
or something.
The kicker. Yeah.
And then the team that it's funny, the team that I fuck with is good old. A little bit of myself is biased in this is New Orleans, and that guy gets disrespected too much. He's a national
Jameis.
championship
Jameis.
winner. Jameson, he just never had anything. Like if you gave him what Tom
Yeah,
had,
dude, some
I'm
crab
sure.
legs.
Well, he took those. That's the difference. They didn't give it to him. He took them.
All right. All right.
And the team that I want to kill off and probably have to RIP them for the longest time now, since they had that small window, is the Dallas fucking Dick Boys. Like, it's about time we fucking bury them. It's over. You had your run, and we'll watch how this quarterback fucking contract is probably the biggest joke in NFL history.
The hot seat of Mike McCarthy. Yep. Yep. That's a good one to kill off and to piss off all the followers too, which, you already do on a weekly basis per se during the season. But it's pretty awesome. I love it. It's true MO of Lamar Prado, who's back, by the way, you guys. All right. You guys ready for my picks? It's gonna be who will I marry? I'm gonna have to go with the Bills. I'm riding the Kool-Aid on the Bills. I'm gonna drink that Kool-Aid all up, blue and red or whatever the fuck it is. It's definitely Josh Allen. I think he's a stud. He's just NFL worthy, and I honestly think that he's gonna go places, especially after what happened to him and how those rules probably could have changed at that time. And if it was changed, he probably would have won that game. Um, so I will definitely marry him. And that makes me feel like a cheater to the Niner faithful, but obviously, nothing's happening here. But who will I fuck with? This is and I know you guys know this, we did a pre-show before, but it's the Raiders. So I'm gonna come visit my friend over there, Rich. We're gonna go to a game. We're gonna bet the game and we're gonna slam it because it's the Raiders and it's Vegas. And I love them for who they are. And I think in another life, I probably would be a Raider fan just because my grandma was a Raider fan in LA. but I also like how their schedule is going to be working out this year, and then I also like that betting aspect of it. So I would like to follow them, and I want to tell all my listeners and followers on the show that that's the team I'm going to be watching really closely, just because it's also Las Vegas. So it could play against you very well. It could play in your ball. I mean, it could be in your court as well. So it goes both ways. But then the team that I'm going to kill is Seattle, because there's nothing to talk about. I mean, we didn't even talk about them. That's how relevant they are. I know their baseball team is doing well. So I have this theory that every time a baseball team does well in another major sport, the other major sport isn't going to do very well. So I'm going to kill them off. And I think that's a safe kill for me. But if there's other teams, I would definitely kill too. And I agree with Al and Rich on the Chiefs. That's a good one to kill that people probably won't see coming because they're going to be publicly betting them a lot. Also like Bengals too, but yeah. All right. So any other teams that you guys want to watch out for? I know you guys didn't commit to them, but what are other teams that you think people should watch out for?
Trevor Lawrence.
I agree with you.
Yes,
Doug Peterson.
Jacksonville, baby, let's go. I
They
got
don't
it
have
written
a
down
joke
right
for
here.
a coach now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one too. Any other teams?
Urban wasn't a joke to all those college girls. Okay, so
I'm tailing Rich on the expectation of the Bengals. I actually have that written down that Jabon had like a Randy Moss type season, and for him to repeat that in that division, that'll be really tough. I expect the Bengals to kind of flatten out a little bit, and I also expect the New York Giants to have a little bit of a turnaround.
Both
Ooh.
New York teams, maybe.
Yeah, maybe both, but Brian Dable, a healthy Saquon, and another year with Daniel Jones. I don't expect them to win the division, but I expect them to maybe go somewhere around 500,
Yeah,
which
what
for
about
them
the
is like winning
Jets?
the
What
Super
about the
Bowl.
Jets, you guys? Because like they have a very defensive coach. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe expect something else.
It all hinges on the development of Zach Wilson. They got him the weapons. They got him some decent linemen, some guys they drafted at receiver, some guys their second year. It hinges on him, but I think the Jets could improve, especially because with all the stuff that's going on with the Dolphins being kind of the hype team in that division, it's like their owner doesn't even want them to win, so it's hard to see them doing anything.
And don't forget, they're the Jets. So
What
if for
about
some
a
reason,
team that no one's actually talked about? Like I kind of have them in the back of my head is like the good old Colts. Can Matty Ice
Matt Ryan.
prove
gonna ask
something?
about
And
them.
he has everything else there for him.
can see it.
I've heard that he's got a little thing for Naheem Hines, which makes sense. Just a guy to dump the ball off to and out of the backfield.
You know who we didn't talk about is a team. What about the Titans? Is that a team that you guys would kill off this year?
Trash.
Yes.
I think they're
They're
done.
gonna flatten out.
Tannehill cannot carry a team. Derrick Henry cannot completely carry a team
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, he
You
can't.
got no
carry it on his
receivers.
back. No,
New York Giants,
Yeah.
by the way, have the easiest rated schedule. They're the number one.
of course they
Let's
do.
go.
Hey,
NYG.
I'm-
Brad.
Meant to say that earlier.
I'm with you. I think Jacksonville could actually win the South this year.
It's
Like,
possible.
just with how bad it's going to be. I don't know.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, the South might be. I like the NFC least to be the worst division, but the South is. I mean, with Houston there.
Well, I was gonna ask you, like,
What about the? I know. You touched on the Rams. Freaking Bobby, but like, dude, I kind of like really hate them now. You know what I mean? Like, there is hate there before, but now it's like even worse.
I think they'll be irrelevant.
Have you guys heard about Stafford?
No, what
No,
happened?
what happened?
Apparently, he's on a pitch count. He's only able to throw 30 to 40, or sorry, 40 to 50
All of
balls.
a sudden.
Not only in 7-on-7s, no contact, because he supposedly has pain in his shoulder, his throwing shoulder. So, John Wofford may be playing a couple games.
And that fool has pain
I
everywhere.
mean, come
Yeah,
on, cry me a
Jimmy
river,
G's
my
brother
God.
over there.
Jesus. I mean, seriously,
John
it's football.
Wofford.
You're not ready to play because what? You're on a pitch count? I mean, I didn't know this was fucking baseball, but cool. All right, sure.
So I just want to ask Al this question: if you don't think that Cincinnati's going to win the division, who do you think is going to win that division then?
You know what? I kind of think Cincinnati is. I think the big thing with them is what's going to happen with Jesse Bates. I think they win that division if Jesse Bates comes back because he's the defense basically. I mean, obviously, as much as I hate the Ravens, they could win the division. I think they just need to be able to run the ball because they're making it abundantly clear that they don't want to give Lamar an actual receiver. Like just figure it out. Uh,
Bateman.
let's see with the Browns. I mean that there's a
Oh
whole
yeah,
thing
the
going on
Browns, you
there.
guys. We didn't even talk about
There's a
Mr.
whole thing going on there. You know,
NFL
depending
wants
on
1 year mandatory.
which,
Yeah.
hey, I'm with that because if Ridley has to sit out an entire season for gambling $1,000 when he was already in the injured reserve, not even against his team or for his team, that just doesn't make
He's a
sense.
stud for that shit, but he got
Yeah, Rich,
caught.
what do they think about him in the books, Ridley?
I would take every one of his bets personally, but
Right? See?
he's a guy I'd hang out with though. He's a guy I'd hang out with. By the way, the Ravens are going to win that division.
There you go. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a lot going on with, I mean, the Browns, my God. Is that a game changer or what? We didn't even talk about that.
And
That's a
you
game
heard it
changer.
first. I'm going to go on and say that I think Mason Rudolph is going to start as the Steelers quarterback for better or worse.
Wow.
Okay.
He's been with the team the longest, I think. And from what I've read, Trubisky's all over the place. Pickett holds on to the ball too long. So let's give Mason a
I
shot.
forgot
I
Trubisky's
saw an
been
update
held
today
up.
that just the headline said Trubisky was struggling.
To his defense, though, the
When
one
is he
thing I
not?
will give him is he's out there practicing without Deontay Johnson, Claypool, Nagy, and Freiermuth. So, I mean, he's throwing the ball to guys like Cody White and friggin' Zach Gentry. So that
Well,
I'm a little like, but I think Rudolph is better than Trubisky, low key.
well, the Bears ain't nothing special to me, and they never will be ever since I lost in 2018 or whatever the fuck it was. God damn them.
Cody
Parkey.
Parkey. Yep.
The kick.
God, I
Yeah, the
fucking
stupid kick.
still cringing over that fucking kick.
I know. My God. It's just like, ugh. Like who? Why
When
would you want to
Trubisky did
make
his
that
job,
kick?
He did his job.
All right. Well, okay. So
Sickening.
now that we've had some, so those are like basically our early bets. Not early bets, but going into the season, that's who we're gonna try and follow what we've told you guys to all the listeners. Let's go over some fantasy notes. Do you guys have anybody that you're looking at? I know the draft's coming up, so I know you don't want to give away any secrets and shit, but what is there to look for as far as, I mean, it looks like some people are choosing Cup at first pick. Like, what the fuck is that, dude? That's
No.
crazy.
Cooper.
Down for disappointment.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, like I'm seeing a lot of stats on Cooper Cup going first round. I'm like, what?
No, thank
smoking
you.
that dope. Not in our league. He ain't going first
Yeah, I
round.
mean, we're professionals, but a lot of these people are riding that train or changing it to a wide receiver from a
Yeah.
even quarterback, before, running back. So it's like, wow, what's going on?
I think it's a given, but I think Devonte Adams this year is gonna be pretty nasty with
Yeah.
his boy Carr. So I mean that's a given
The
because he's one of the
Raiders.
best receivers in the NFL. But there's a little connection there.
I
Yeah.
think his targets will be just bonkers.
What about so I know we're all playing in the league. Rich, thanks for joining. I know you're gonna make it very competitive. And just remember, I'm your friend first in case trades come up. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't normally do fantasy football, but I'm happy to do it with you guys. I love my Western Colorado boy, Austin Eckler. Come on now.
Yeah, let's
Let's
go.
go.
Look at
Eckler.
him.
Eckler's not even looking like
Eckler's
the starting running back right now, too, as from what I read.
Well, no, I
Gadget.
think it took it out of context where like Spiller is getting first team reps too because I mean it's Austin Eckler. He's going to get injured at some point in the season.
You're right, 100%.
That he is. That he is.
When he
I was
plays, he's
telling
gonna be
Brad,
good.
like I like the Chargers, but think about their best players. It's like Mike Williams injury prone, Keenan Allen injury prone, Khalil Mack injury prone, Bosa, Derwin James injury
Yeah.
prone. So it's like that's a very scary
Look at
team.
Brad's face. Look at his baby.
Eckler, like,
I mean, when you play a real
High,
man
high
sport,
school
you
level
really-
special teams.
That's
never,
something
yeah,
we gotta
never
fix
with a
this year.
kicker. What's up? Like, can you guys call Nate Kading back?
How about
Dude,
I
Nate
told Brad
Caden is
this.
fucking beef.
I told Brad this. I was like, can they get a slot receiver? Are they allowed to get a slot receiver? Is that like not being talked about?
Oh, but you know what? Your
Odell.
coach is pretty ballsy. So, yeah, I mean, he should be ready to win. You know what I mean?
Is it Josh Palmer or Jalen Guyton? Who are we looking at, Brad?
I know it's these no.
Who even knows? Who even knows? We don't need to
It's
get
like
them the
it's
ball.
like
We're launching at 50 yards.
Hey,
it's
they
like
got Gerald
Caleb's team.
Everett though.
Caleb,
Caleb,
I feel
who's
like
your
you're-
starting running back?
England?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I feel
Damien
like your
Harris. He
team
had a
is,
crazy year last year.
Okay,
I feel
because
like
you
your
never know
team's
with them.
rebuilding.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I think he's going to be a disappointment, though. I think he's going to split time with Ramondre Stevenson this year. So
They got a no-namer that they are already talking about. Could be the guy too there as well.
who, Montgomery?
It's who I don't know. It's they. I was reading
Is
about
it?
it, and I was like, that's the Patriots.
Oh,
way
it's
to-
probably Stevenson.
Oh.
That was their
No, 'cause
fourth round pick
they
last
hyped him
year.
up last year.
Oh, so maybe I don't know.
I thought
Pierre Strong from South Dakota State, maybe.
There it is. That you just summed it up right there. South
Yeah, Pierre
Dakota
Strong.
State.
I've heard
South
about that guy.
Dakota State.
A rookie.
All right. Well, okay, so before we end, I just want to thank all the followers and shout out LA for shouting us out, obviously doing an article on Crooks and Books, which is pretty fucking awesome. I know you guys all saw that. Everyone has their own handle except for Prado. But I think you have a Twitter. I'm not sure. I forgot what it was. But you can totally shout that out. And I want to thank MGMH Pod. That's actually Al's and Brad's new podcast, right? That came out
Yes.
this year.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, we started that.
Tell us a little bit about it, dude.
You know, me and Brad for years have been going to metal and hardcore shows, and when I really sat there and kind of looked at the scene, I was like, you know what? Like, there aren't a lot of podcasts that necessarily take care of the smaller bands. It's like, obviously, the Slipknots, the Corns, the Metallicas of the world, those bands are always going to get, you know, picked up by magazines and stuff and get press. So I wanted to hammer out some of these bands that me and Brad see, and they're putting away their own merch, their own instruments, and just talk to them, you know, see
Yeah.
what life is like traveling across the United States. And it's been super cool so far. Me and Brad are really enjoying it. Today's Wednesday, so tomorrow we'll be doing an episode. It's our 13th with Kane Glasnick from Vomit Forth, who's a death metal band
What a name.
from New Hampshire. So
Nice.
check that out.
Yeah,
Right?
dude, that's crazy. I mean, I'm very happy for you guys. You know, I will definitely be following over the season, and I just want to shout that out. I know, Caleb, you have your own podcast as well, but you are also a stand-up comedian, which I know people know. Obviously, you have all
Yeah.
the followers that have followed you from India. Shout out
From
to them.
India. Yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
my favorite country, man.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you want to tell us a little bit about your podcast? I know you've probably told them before, but just
A million times. Yeah, I got the Bread and Circuses podcast. I do it weekly, typically with Nick Kohler. He's a comedian from Waco, or no, Waco. Fuck, I got mass murder on the mind.
Jesus.
From El Paso, excuse me. He's from here, but he lives there now. But we do that typically weekly. We cover everything from news, politics, reaction videos, whatever's going on. But starting this fall, I will have a Nebraska football reaction show coming on, post game reaction called the
Nice.
Through These Gates podcast. You can check it out. If you like hearing me rant and yell about conspiracies in football and stuff, it's the perfect place for it. It'll be entertaining, even if you don't follow Nebraska football.
Every
If you
weekly
do,
Patriots game, huh?
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so we're doing that, and then I got merch on Bonfire. You can go to bonfire.com/Caleb-Salvatore-comedy. You can buy my shit there. So
Hey, India, better buy that stuff, huh?
yeah,
What's up?
I expect it to be all over India, like Cincinnati Bengals Super Bowl champion shirts are in
There
Africa.
you
So
go. All right. Some exciting news. Rich, you got anything going on? I know you're super busy, so I want to thank you for coming on the show, for joining Fantasy, and also giving us the insiders, dude. What do you have going on this year?
I'm just grinding away, trying to hit up every sports book I can. Currently, I am live betting the Reno Aces Las Vegas Aviators game on my Boyd app. And,
Regen to the fullest, you
just like
guys.
a straight up degenerate. I mean, but that's just what it is every day, man.
Yeah,
It's
this
a
is why
good
we're
life.
meant to be friends, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you could actually go to the sports book, and I can call you, and you can actually drive there. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk
Yeah,
about it.
I will say, like, it is wild that you can live bet like a Las Vegas Aviators game because you can go to the game and like get better odds because they got like some computer following it on Don Best. So I don't know. It's a crazy life.
Yeah, what a life you live, huh? It's awesome. Brado and I want to be there one day just to do it
One day.
for the life. Bobby, we know you're getting married. Shout out to Bianca once again. I'm gonna be at the wedding and I'm gonna be belligerently drunk, so just make sure you fucking get me an Uber, all right?
the only way to do
I
it.
just I just invited myself to your guys' wedding. Oh, congratulations to Caleb. Two guys on the pod getting married, but Caleb's
Oh, yeah.
coming out next year.
Yeah,
right?
next year. Yeah, we're getting married next year. So
All right. And anything new for you, Bob, other than the cast, obviously?
Nothing much. We've just been in wedding mode, so I'm just taking care of all that stuff.
Wedding mode.
Can't wait for football.
Gross.
Other than
Nice.
that, I'll also be having my wedding on a Sunday when the Niners play the Saints, so that'll be fun. So in the bar
Jesus, are
area,
we fading out? I'm just joking.
in the bar area, there'll be a TV, so I'm sure that's half my reception will be in there too.
That's
So
where I'll be. That's where I'll be.
We'll definitely be slamming a bet.
let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go. Encouraged, guys. All right, Prado, you got anything this year? I know you don't have a freaking account on social media except for Twitter, which I just revealed. So good luck with that.
I gotta like open it back up and make sure it's fucking still active.
He's got those ghost accounts.
Yeah, like the Kevin
Got those
Durant mode
KD, yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Ray
I know how
Allen.
he is. I
No,
know
I
how he
just
is.
been. It's funny you're saying that. I was making sure that I was watching I had the Giants under, and they had bases loaded, and did absolutely
Oh,
dick
look
with
at you
it.
betting too. Of course.
Yep, of
All
course.
right.
Baseball.
All right. Now a new sponsor has come in for us, you guys, and I know everybody has gotten their steaks with the exception of Al and Bobby. Those will be delivered soon.
Haven't either,
For winner steak dinner, dude. Let's shout out at Stay Classy Meats. They are pretty damn good. They've got organic meat from Montana. And I want to know what you guys think about it. I know, Caleb, did you try it yet?
I haven't gotten it yet.
Okay, so that's coming in the mail. I think I got your tracking. Rich, have you tried it?
No, I can't wait to. I got him lined up for my meal prepped. I'll let you know after that.
Look at you. All right. I know Prado, you've tried it. What do you think about it?
Very good. Very tender. Me and Brad went at it, and it was very, very good.
Is it a steak for a winner?
Yeah, what was crazy was that bison mix up with the hot dog. That thing was fire. I don't even know what that was.
It was bison and pork.
Fire.
Yeah, pretty good. Some links. And then obviously they're based in Bozeman, Montana, and they focus on ranch direct meals online and direct to your door. So they supply high quality meat in small batches, rich nutrients, and they also supply it to the UFC fighters because those guys deal with so much like steroids and a lot of different meds and things like that. So this meat actually helps them instead of weighing them down, is what I heard. And I think that's pretty cool. They also sponsor a sister podcast of ours, which I follow very closely, Punchless MMA. At Punchless MMA, they're really good at betting. They also do bets based on percentage and on the podcast. So they give you their picks. They're not asking for anything either. And I suggest if you are a follower of UFC, which I know a lot of the guys on the show are, you can follow them and they'll give you a little bit more info. But thank you to at Honeyfly Wine. I know there's a lot of drought going on with the wine business right now. So if you have wine, you got to keep that out of stock because it's going up in prices like everything else. Wine is very expensive right now. So shout out to at Honeyfly Wine, and then obviously Wager Attack, our book sponsor at Wager Attack. Follow them. They give you the best odds, and they also will pay you out. Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, whatever you need, they'll get it to you when you need it. Other than that, dude, thank you for joining us. Is there anything else I'm missing, you guys? What do you guys want to say to the followers? Whatever, your turn.
Just
Guys,
thanks for
good?
listening, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thanks
Caleb
for
isn't
listening.
funny. Twitter and Instagram.
And we will see you guys before the week that everything starts. Obviously, we will do an episode, but thank you for joining us.
Fuck yeah. Peace out.